The steady hum of activity reverberates across Bangged town in Abra just 2 days after a magnitude 7 earthquake hit Luzon Island. It's a stark contrast to the day prior as locals reeled from an earthquake that destroyed houses and disrupted their lives. Over 48 hours later, things are going back to normal, at least for some people. For Margie Sasalia, normal feels like a lifetime away. The 48-year-old who worked for over a decade as a domestic helper in Singapore remembers the morning of July 27 vividly.
Nakita ko na yung batong naglalaglagan naman. Hindi ko alam kung saan unahin ko yung motor ba o yung mga apo ko. Kasi doon mismo bagsak sa motor eh. Sabi ko, wag na yung motor. Eh, tulog pa sila. Sabi ko, friends, buksan mo may lindol. Malalaglag na yung mga bato. Guguhon na nga yung lupa as in, ma'am. Iniwan ko na yung bahay, ma'am. Hindi ko na inano. Basta ang nasa isip ko lang. Kasi as a single parents, ma'am, mailigtas ko lang yung mga apo ko. So, hindi ko talaga, meron yung nervyos, ma'am, ganon. Pero hindi ko na iniisip yun. Hindi ko naisip yung sarili ko talaga na baka mamatay na ako, paano. Yung iniisip ko talaga yung mga bata. Sabi ko, bahala na si Lord. Pinasok ko talaga, ma'am, kahit gumuho na yung lupa. Talagang inuna ko yung mga apo kong nilabas.
Margie and her family of four, two daughters and two young children, all made it in one piece. They lived at the town evacuation center inside modular tents from the late afternoon of the 27th up until the 29th. Margie and her family fled with just the clothes on their backs. She said she got over her fear of entering her home just to grab a couple of things, pillows to sleep on, and cell phones so they could communicate with their relatives. Her house is fairly undamaged, but its location is anything but to be desired, especially when strong aftershocks still come and go. There's one rock that keeps Margie up at night. It rests delicately on already loose soil, just a few meters away from her main house. But a relative who lives nearby isn't as lucky. Johnny Baronia wasn't at home when the earthquake hit. He was at work as a construction worker when the strong quake jolted Bangged. He went home to find that his family was gone and that his home, which he had slowly saved up to build, was destroyed.
Siyempre ma'am, di ginginod. Adak mo diyan di trabaho, nagdanagak, nagawid ak nga sigod. Kinadanunak yung balay nga kasi nakapaayan nan. Kinawan na kita pamilyak. Siyempre, napang ko binibiro kita. So, kasi ma'am.
Johnny and his family have been living with relatives also in Bangged since. Bangged Mayor Mila Valera says the municipal government is working overtime. Bureau of Fire Protection and Metro Manila Development Authority personnel augment the town's own people in inspecting buildings, first hospital and medical centers, then government buildings, and finally the homes, including the homes of people like Margie and Johnny. Until then, they wait. Here, comfort is found in the smallest of things. Hot sopas from BFP personnel, the laughter of children playing parlor games, and even the laughter of adults, also because of the parlor games. Regional Department of Health personnel use these games and conversations to help residents process what happened. For kids, it's a sweet snack, and later, art therapy. For their parents, it's a talk session that allows them to share their experiences, process their trauma, and find ways to cope. It certainly won't be easy. The question of what they'll do next is one that's hard to answer.
Agyan kami pa lang aji, anti kapag yan mi ma'am, no, adanto tiyempo kan adanto mausar nga ko ha. Padasin to nga i-renovate ta balay.
Margie has changed all her plans moving forward. She was supposed to travel to Manila in a week's time for work that would take her to Romania. That's out of the picture now.
Nirepair nila ako sa Romania. Sabi ko, anak, babalik ako pero sa Romania, sabi ko. Ibang kontinente, hindi ko alam anong sitwasyon ko doon. Pero ngayon nangyari naman parang ayaw ko na. Hindi ko na maiwan-iwan tong mga bata eh. Kasi parang mas priority ko na yung mga apo ko. Hindi ko pa alam ma'am hanggang ngayon. Iisip ko pa rin paano. Bahala na si Lord.
One by one, the tents are packed up. Families, mothers, fathers, grandparents, and their children slowly try to go on with their lives. But it's a difficult ask when home is literally impossible to return to. In the aftermath of the July 27 earthquake, families here, inside and outside evacuation centers across northern Luzon, can only hope that as everyone moves on, they do not get left behind. Bea Kupin Rappler, Bangged, Abra.